African priests fill American pulpits as reverse missionaries. Revitalizing congregations. Chicago. It's a sunny morning at St. Paul's African Catholic Church on Chicago's South Side. At Benedict, Father Rukulatwa Kiiguta stepped into the middle of the sanctuary to preach. Looking at 50-odd people gathered in the Black Catholic congregation, many of whom nodded as he spoke, he told gathering, "My brothers, yes, we have a mission to save souls by bringing them to Christ." That's exactly why Kiiguta moved from his home in Tanzania to the United States. After meeting an American priest who traveled to East Africa to recruit seminarians, Kiiguta joined the ranks of about 15 African priests in Chicago. He sees his work in the Englewood neighborhood, where many families struggle to make ends meet, but where Catholics pour their hearts out to their congregations, as God's will. This missionary's story reflects a fundamental shift in the American Catholic Church. After decades of American missionaries traveling to Africa to convert and preach, trend is reversing. Congregations across the country now rely on ministry of international priests, many from East Africa and Nigeria. The Archdiocese Chicago, one of America's largest dioceses, is an example. Almost two-thirds priests under the age 50 were born outside the United States. Estimating the number of foreign missionaries in the United States is difficult because their paths are so diverse. But recent research by Georgetown University's Center for Applied Research in the Apostolate estimates that the United States is home to approximately 6,600 international priests and more than 4,000 international nuns. Meanwhile, the number of American priests is dwindling. There are now 10,000 fewer priests than there were 2 decades ago. Sister Thu Do, a research assistant at CARA, described this trend as reverse missionary action. The number of international priests and sisters has likely increased since the Georgetown Center's last study in 2019. He said, due to lack of vocations in priesthood and religious life, religious institutes and dioceses in United States are moving outside United States to recruit new members, she said. More. Pope Francis approves blessings for same-sex couples if rituals not akin to marriage. The centuries-old religious order is changing over time. Patrick Okok, a 32-year-old theology student, is one such young man. Okok grew up in Sega, a rural Kenyan town about an 8-hour drive outside Nairobi. Now, 6 years into his studies 8,000 miles from home, he lives in Chicago, where temperatures dropped into the 20s last week, and is preparing to become a missionary with the Maryknoll Fathers Brothers. Maryknoll was founded in the United States more than a century ago with the unique mission of sending its members abroad permanently to share their religion. Missionary groups such as Maryknoll are a major reason for the widespread popularity of Catholicism in East Africa today. But as Amer,